have that look about them, man, or they're gonna put the shades on. Why? Because their conscience is persistently cutting them. Now you might have it to where the geezers from bloody Australia or something, but you may be a bad boy on a basketball court, guys from France or something like that, okay? And you can see this guy, his spirit is messed up within him. Why? Because that's a child of the Most High, and the things that he has to do to attain that status within his kingdom is wickedness, man. Okay, it's wickedness. So his spirit cuts him. That's why the scripture says our spirit beareth witness with the spirit of the Most High, that we're the children of the Most High, man. In other words, you're going to have it to where Israelites was going to look all over like they come from all of the different nations. Okay. So back within the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, and I will lay sinew upon you, and I'll bring upon you the flesh. How you doing? You alright? Okay. I'll lay upon you the sinew, and bring up you girls believe in the Bible? Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, you know the Lord's coming back, and He's gonna raise His people up right now. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, that's good. That's good. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. So you're going to have to where the breath is going to get into the brothers, and they're going to live, and they're going to stand, they're going to preach, they're going to prophesy. Okay? And so I prophesied as I was commanded, as we are supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? The scripture talks about how in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, I think around about the 13th verse, is the 13th verse and the 12th, around about the 13th chapter and the 12th verse, I forget the exact place. But it talks about how that the whole duty of man, okay, was to serve the Most High, man. Okay, so in serving the Most High, if that's your whole duty, that's your whole existence, what you're supposed to be doing in these times, you're supposed to be prophesying, man. Okay, so and it was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Okay, right, which that's symbolic. Because if the scripture saying bones to his bone, and we know bones to his bone, is talking about, look, them families there, that's of the same line, that's of the same flesh. Okay, that's saying, look, the Most High was dividing them different nations from the different. So you had it to where Jake was mingled amongst the Ammonites. They heard this word, oh, they're gonna go bone to his bone. Okay, they're gonna go back to their common family lineage, man. And that's the spirit that you got out here. You got it to where people are saying, look, I don't want to be around Esau anymore. I don't want to be around these different nations. I'm gonna go back to my own people. Okay, people are going back onto that old way of living, in that people were really segregated back in the ancient world. All right, it says there. It says, and when I beheld, and lo, the sinew came upon them, right, and the skin was covered, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. And then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind, and prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, or breath, right, and breath be upon the slain, that they may live. So that's the times we're living in right now. Okay, we're having it to where that breath, the understanding of who we are, our heritage, okay, is being remembered. The scripture talks about remembering the old ways. Okay, the scripture talks about how you're supposed to search ye the old paths, and this breath going out forth, the different elders, starting first and foremost with the elders going out there teaching this word. Okay, when they went out there and had it to where the 2008, and really they were teaching prior to that, but really when this thing exploded in 2008, you had it to where that breath went out throughout the four corners of the earth by way of by way of the antelope. Okay, the unicorn. Okay, so that breath went out there bad. Okay, you got brothers raising up all over the place. Boom. Okay, now you got it to where the thing of pride, like I said, Esau's pride is an all-time high right now. Okay, you got it to where Esau's pride now is an all-time high, because why? Because now he realizes that all of these different brothers are waking up to the truth. They know who they are. Okay, and they have spent a lot of money to stop that from happening. So his pride is telling me, look, we can still continue with this kingdom as long as we keep these people quiet. Okay, we can continue within our kingdom, okay, as long as we stop these different, camps rising up, as long as we insert agent provocateurs within those different camps, and it was going to rise up. What you're going to find out is the same thing they found out 2,000 years ago in the time of Acts. Okay, because in the time of Acts, what happened? You had it to where different guys were trying to stop the word from coming up, and what was said, if this was a thing of man, you can stop it. Here it is, you got it to where Martin Luther King came up and you stopped him. Guess what? That was a thing of man. Okay, you had it to where Marcus Garvey came on the scene and they stopped that. Why? Because that was a thing of man. Okay, and that was really pertaining to the scriptures that we're going to see within the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 68th verse, and that the Most High said it up to where there wasn't going to be no person amongst the tribes, okay, that was going to come up and deliver them from the affliction that they was getting, only save that the Lord was going to come back and he was going to deliver them from the situation that we in. And we can see that within the book of Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, and I'll go back on to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. This is the book of Isaiah, the 68th chapter, 63rd chapter, Isaiah 63, okay? Here's Isaiah 63, and I'm going to start from the top. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? So when Isaiah done seen the vision, he saw a man coming from what Edom is, which is going to be America in modern day times. Okay, the capital city is, one of the principal cities of Edom was Bozrah. Okay, I think Teman is another one. And I think there might have been a few other ones. Okay, excuse me if the history is a little bit off. Okay, as pertaining to Esau, but certainly when it's talking about who's this coming from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, this is talking about the Lord. Okay, and it's going to explain that. So Isaiah the 63rd chapter, it says, traveling in the greatness of his strength, and he says, I that speak in righteousness mighty to save. Now who's mighty to save? Save the Lord, man. Okay, because the Lord can set up a man to save them, right? But the one that's mighty to save is the Lord. Okay, you had it to where Joshua, Gideon, and them different, King David and so on and so forth. They was risen up amongst the people and they delivered the people from the situations they were in. But who was the credit given unto? The credit was given unto the Lord. Why? Because ultimately the Lord was the one that was doing that deliverance, man. Okay, so now the same thing is being said within the scriptures, where if the scriptures say, who is I that speaketh in righteousness, that's another clue, right? Mighty to save, which is another clue. Okay, going to say what? Going to say that this is talking about the Lord right here. Okay, the right hand arm of the Most High. It says, wherefore art thou in red and thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the winefrey. So this when he saw the visage of the Lord. Okay, right, in this particular depiction of what the future enactment's gonna happen. Okay, all right. When he saw the vision of what the Lord was doing, he saw the Lord who's historically speaking, when he read the scriptures, the Lord's got clean garment, green garment. Okay, gold girdle around his waist. Okay. All right, when he saw the vision, he was like, look, why is your garment like him that's been treading the winepress? And otherwise, why you got the blood of the grapes all over your garment? That's the vision that he's seen. Okay, and this is what the Lord responded to him, and he said, right, I've trodden the winepress alone. Okay, which is a metaphorical winepress, because this is talking about the people. Because the Lord, when he comes in, he's gonna be getting the end, man. Okay, a lot of people think when the Lord's gonna come in peace. No, you got a state of a lot of wickedness happening out here, man. You got a state of a lot of wickedness happening out there. Do you really think that the Lord's gonna come back into peace? The earth is at its most wickedest, all right, most evil, okay, most defiled state that it's ever been in history. And you think when the Lord comes back, the creator of the earth, he's gonna come back in a peaceable state? Okay, Lord, the scripture talks about in the book of Isaiah, the 15th chapter, and the 3rd verse, how the Lord is a man of war. And in another scripture, it goes on to say how the Lord is austere. Okay, so when he comes back, he ain't gonna be coming back and say, okay, you've been bad, but you can be good. He ain't gonna do that. Okay, he's gonna be straight chopping heads off, man. Okay, the book of Isaiah 6, is it Isaiah 6 and Matthew 6 and John 6 and 63? That might be a different scripture. But there's certainly a scripture within where it talks about how the ones of the 12 tribes of Israel that they will serve underneath the new rulership that the Most High is going to set up, which is not really new, it's a renewed. That's where you get the word kainos from, because kainos means to be renewed. Okay, that's why you go to the book of Revelations. It said they sang unto him a new song. What's that new song? Really, it's us learning the old ways, man. How we was back in the day, man. Okay, this is okay. This is our doctrine. This is who we really are. Oh, this is how we dress. Okay, that's what that's the whole always. That's what as the new song, which is really a renewed song, because we're learning the ways. But it's like unto us as being new. Okay. But getting back onto I lost my train of thought there. I get back into the scriptures. It said, and I've trodden the winepress alone, and the people that was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. So you're going to have it to where guys is going to be out there trying to fight up against the Lord. Okay, them that pierce the Lord, they're going to see him. They're going to be cut in the spirit, but because they're pride, they're going to still just try to fight. and the Lord's gonna have it to where they're gonna be smashed, man. Like you seen them different movies that they got out there, which when you really understand the psychology of what's being said out there, okay, that's why you realize why some of these movies are really kind of whack these days, man. Okay, like you had the book, the movie X-Men, the Apocalypse, and the little Jean, the Red Edomite, okay, all right. You mean she could be a Jake, but whatever, right? For the purposes of this example, she's gonna be an Edomite, okay. You had it to where she came up and she, and that basically that's basically a depiction of what the Lord's gonna come in, and that's damn near mockery, man. But that's why these movies be coming out whack like this, because they're giving out a certain vibration or a certain imagery of what Esau is trying to push forth out there, because they're saying, look, we're gonna find a way, okay, to swerve what we want and get what we want, where our desire is to get. Because they're gonna have it to, they're gonna try to where they're gonna try to fight against the Lord. When you go to the book of Revelations, it says how that the Michael and the angels took for against the dragon and these angels. So they're gonna fight against the Lord in these chariots. Okay, but are they gonna win? Hell no. They're dealing with carnal technologies. Okay, they're dealing with combustion engines. All right, they're dealing with petrol, oil. The spiritual vessels don't deal with them kind of things over there. They deal with a spiritual form of science, man. Okay, far too high for the human mind to comprehend. So are they're gonna be destroyed within this upcoming upheaval that you're gonna have between both the people, okay, the separations you're gonna have between the clashes of humanity, and also the clashes that you're gonna have it to where one of those people are gonna say, look, we're wicked, okay, all right, we're all from different nations, but look, we don't really want this extraterrestrial force to take what we have set up down. Okay, so now they're gonna fight up against that. That's why you had it to where the old quote wherewith it said, if there ever was, we've got all of these wars happening between these different countries, but if there was ever a war where they had to fight an extraterrestrial, rather more a being, a celestial being, okay, they was gonna have to combine their forces and try take that being down. But see, the scriptures told you, and the future is gonna tell you that there's only gonna be one ruler, right? Furthermore, there's only gonna be one winner out of that, and that's gonna be the Lord, man. Okay, let's get back onto the book of Isaiah, the 63rd chapter, and it says, I've trodden the winepress alone, and of the people that was none with me, I'll tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. Okay, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I'll stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So when the Lord's talking about raising up the people, having it to where the people was going to come back unto him, in other words, repenting and then be saved out of that, to be redeemed, okay, that's synonymous, or that could be attributed, rather more coupled with, because right here the scripture is coupling it with the redeeming, is coupling with the destruction of this place, man. Okay, so whilst this place is being destroyed, and you go to where the wicked are being destroyed, as pursuant to the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, and the 8th verse, you're going to have it where the elect of the 12 tribes of Israel was going to be redeemed, man. Okay, but see, Esau and his pride, and we're going to see that within the scriptures, man. Esau and his pride, they're actually going to try to stop that from happening, man. They're actually going to try to fight against that from happening, and they're doing so. Okay, they're taking, crafty counsel against the anointed of the Most High to try to have it to where they're understanding the scriptures, the understanding of the scriptures be somewhat muted. They're going to set up different guys in the different camps and come out with some wayward doctrines. Okay, all right, but ultimately you're going to have it to where what? The truth was going to triumph over that. Because why? Because the scripture talks about how the truth is likened unto a light set up on the hilltop. Because why? Because everyone underneath that hilltop, in that valley, that goes to show you all of them scriptures are linked up, man. Okay, that goes to show you all of them scriptures are linked up. Here it is. Okay, we just read the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, and it says what? How that there was all them dry bones. Okay, you had it to where all of those dry bones were in the midst of that valley, man, that low land. Okay, and then you had what? And in another part of the scriptures, you got it to where the light is set up on the top of the hill. Now, when you go to a valley, okay, all right, and you got the people lying down on the lowlands in a low moral state, and you got the light on the top. All them people underneath there was gonna see that light, man. Okay, but that's one part of the scriptures. You couple it with another part of the scriptures, and you see how that really when they was talking about all of them when it's the New Testament, really they was just using the stuff for the Old Testament, man. Okay, the Lord, when he said that, he said, okay, look, they're going to be out there in America. They're going to be out there in that lowland. Okay, they're going to be in that valley. Okay, you got to set that light up on the top of the hill so they can see that word coming out forth, man. That's why you're going to be out here, okay, because we're likened unto having that light on the top. You got the valley, the lowland, you go up the hill, you got the top of the light right there. You got that light being set forth fruit, okay? You got that light being set forth through. Now, what's interesting is you also have it to where a lot, especially you take London for instance, a lot of the times when you have them broadcasting signals, them pylons and so on and so forth, they put them on top of the valleys. Okay, you have it to where the TVs and or probably the satellites and so on and so forth that they transmit the informations out there. They get set up on top of the valley because why? Because you get a wider range, man, wider range of signal. Okay, so the Lord had it to where that's happened. And now you got it to where the information through the way the unicorn at the top of the hill is going down there. That's not breakdown or anything. That's just just speaking as a man. Because brothers will take that, cut it, send it and make a video out of it. That's just me just speaking as a man. That's not a breakdown. Okay, so back within the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and the 49th verse, it says, "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee." Okay, now let's go up a little bit. Let's go up a little bit, because really you need to understand why the Lord was going to bring up a nation up against the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, now this is going into the scriptures. You can take notes and so on and so forth. Okay, so why is the Lord was going to bring up a nation up against them? Okay, so you're going to have to where certain things had to happen for the Most High to raise up against his people another group of people that was going to take them down. Okay, now what are the circumstances wherewith that was going to take place? In other words, what are the circumstances where that nation coming up against the 12 tribes of Israel was going to perpetuate? Okay, so Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, on the 43rd verse, it says in 45th verse, it says, "Moreover, all of these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments," all right, "and his statutes and his commandment that I've commanded thee." Okay, let's read that again so we get the understanding. Deuteronomy 28th chapter on the 45th verse. "Moreover, all of these curses shall come upon thee, and they shall pursue thee, and they shall overtake thee, right, till thou be destroyed, all right, because thou hast not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments." So you had it to where there was a situation, okay, all right, you had it to where the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, underneath, starting first and foremost the man Jacob, all right, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and so on and so forth. Okay, they had it to where they made a covenant, okay, by way of blood, right, with the Most High. That covenant said, look, we're going to keep the laws, statutes, commandments, then we're going to receive the inheritance, okay? All right, just like how we read about within the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, how the adoption, the promises, okay, the covenants that also are attributed unto the 12 tribes of Israel, but there's an agreement, there's a negating factor within that agreement, that being if that only occurs if they follow the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High. Now let's pause right there and see what's going to happen within the future. This is the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, okay, and the 8th verse. Okay, so this is the book of Hebrews 8 and 8. It says, "For finding fault with them, right, behold, the days come." So why did the scripture say finding fault with them? Because you had it to where this creature was made subject unto vanity. And that was all set up to what? So you can have the 360 degrees of understanding of what? Because that's how that's how the heathens behave. So now when you have the purity of the scriptures, when you have it to where what's going to be said within here with the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, in that you was going to have it to where a brother's going to be born with the understanding of the scriptures from birth, and they're going to do right all the time. Okay, in other words, negating the curses that came from within these scriptures, but furthermore being living in a state of blessing. Okay, they was going to be doing right all the time. Okay, so let's go back within this, go back into Hebrews 8 and 8. So it says, "For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." Okay, so he said, "For finding fault with them," because this creature was made subject unto vanity. Okay, so the more that to put them into captivity, right? Amidst the Assyrians, amidst the Babylonians, amidst the Medo-Persians, amidst the Greeks. Okay. All right, which later became the Romans, and you had a period of time when Jake was in rulership for 1,000 years under the name of the Moors, under the name of the Tudors. Okay, right, all of those were all Israelites, but what were they doing? They were doing all kind of wickedness, man. Okay, they was out there within Africa, man. Okay, I believe you had it to where the king Mensa Musu, he called himself the lion of Africa or something like. Why did he call himself the lion? Because he's called about the conquering lion of Judah, man. Because he knew that he was of a Judite descent. Okay, so he says here, "For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them out of the land of Egypt to lead them out of Egypt. So when we're reading these curses, all right, this is dealing with the covenant that they was made when they was brought forth out of the land of Egypt. Okay, now check this out. When you go into the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter, let's go to it now. Okay, Revelations, the 11th chapter. Okay, and this is the 8th verse. It says, "And their dead body shall lie down in the great city, right, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt." Okay, now here it is. You got the scriptures talking about the covenant being made. Okay, all right, when the Most High led us out of Egypt. Okay, but we know that when he's going to the book of Revelations, that time of Egypt's power, all right, its prominence had already been brought down to the ground. So this is going to be talking about a new Egypt. That's why it says spiritually Egypt and spiritually Sodom, which is talking about modern day America. Okay, so when we're gonna be led out of modern day America, now you're gonna have it to where the new covenant is gonna be set up. Going to show you what, there's nothing new underneath the sun, and all things are repeated. So it's needful to understand the history. You gotta understand the history to understand what's gonna happen in the future. That's how we know that Babylon, this modern day Babylon, is gonna be destroyed, because it's what? It's Rome, it's Sodom, it's Egypt. It's all of these things amalgamated together. And why are they all amalgamated together? Because Esau's trying to take the witchcraft of the Assyrians, the witchcraft of the Babylonians, the witchcraft of the Medo-Persians, okay, of the Greco-Romans, right? Amalgamate it all into one thing. Because why? Because all of those vibrations, right, all of those witchcrafts, they had a particular taking onto the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why you got it to where the 12 tribes of Israel, they're still celebrating Christmas, Easter, and so on and so forth, which are all the doctrines of the heathen. But see, Esau understands that, and amalgamating it, he's got the strongest pull on the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites, that really throughout the four corners of the earth. He's got a stronger pull on them than he's ever had before. Okay? But like I said, Esau's pride is at its all-time highest. Okay? Esau's pride is at its all-time highest, and it being at its all-time highest, he thinks in amalgamating all of these different doctrines of the heathens, the 12 tribes ain't gonna raise up. Okay, he's thinking that in having it to where you got fluoride in the water, okay, calcifying the pineal gland. He thinks that the Most High ain't gonna have it to where the breath's gonna come out there and brothers gonna stand, man. There's a thing called spiritual